a year after back. So that's how it was.
Alright, so thank you so much for that lovely introduction. I hope the audience also has an idea already of who our special guests are. But yeah, so with that, let's start our discussion officially. So of course, juggling the responsibilities of being a faculty member and also an administrator, in what ways have you contributed to the De La Salle University's vision and mission?
In what ways? Right now, considering my position, I'm expected to come up with activities, programs, policies, procedures that would help operationalize the vision. When I say operationalize, that means, kasi ano lang siya, it's just a vision, it's just a vision. So to realize that, we need certain programs to bring us closer to reality. So basically, that's how I see myself in the church.
And what about you guys, Jennifer?
Yes, actually the vision mission is like the future insight and desire of the university, and I guess it's a shared vision mission. So everybody in a community has to take its role, and it depends on why we are here. Would be our role. So I have my role as a faculty and my role as an administrator. So as a faculty, I am expected to actually teach my students. And when we say teach, the teacher should continue to learn, to teach more. I think that's very important. So as a teacher, you have to continue on with upgrading yourself. You have to have your formal studies, and that is to actually come up with direction and help the students to pursue their dreams. As an administrator, as Sir Marco had said, we have our role in providing policies, regulations that will be to be closer to achieving our mission.
And I'm also, since you mentioned that you were a teacher, I'd like to know what subject did you used to teach?
I am a teacher in biology department.
Alright, that's nice to hear. So considering that, or also earlier during your introduction, you mentioned that you've been in the school for quite some time already. So I want to know, can you tell us how has the LSCD's mission and vision evolved over the years, and what factors have influenced those changes?
Yes. DLSUD was 5 years old when I came, because it was in 1987 that the LaSalle brothers took over. And during that time, DLSUD was called DLSU EA. That's the first name. That's Emilio Aguinaldo College, because this was originally the Emilio Aguinaldo College. And then eventually, after some time, it becomes the La Salle University Aguinaldo. And eventually, we have the name the La Salle University Las Marinas. So by the name, you will see that there's an evolution. And even with the administration, De La Salle was once a part of the De La Salle system, and eventually becomes an independent university, De La Salle University. So I guess during that time, we also have some changes with our clientele, with our students. We started with like I think 90% coming from Cavite. So eventually, the ratio changed from 90 to 70 to 60. That's Cavite and other provinces. So coming from Metro Manila. And I guess because of those changes, the mission of the university also have evolved. Because eventually we are no longer catering Caviteños. We are no longer catering locals, Filipinos. We are now catering foreign students. And we have also diverse curriculums. We have different programs to cater for different needs of influence so much on, these are factors that have influenced also on the evolution of the vision.
So what about the officer? Do you have anything to say about that?
Anong year ka na ba?
Fourth year.
Fourth year. So maybe you have seen the vision before. And I hope all of you have by this time seen the vision now. And obviously, it's much shorter. At face value. No, di ba? Ang haba-haba nung before. And if I'm not mistaken, the vision has changed 3 times already. Parang kay Dr. Gruenberg na yung former executive vice president na. And now. And although essentially, in my opinion, it's essentially the same because the end in mind is always to be of service to the community. You would notice that in the messaging part, it has become crisp and shorter. Maybe because of the, I guess, intention to become more memorable, to become more relatable among students, especially nung height ng pandemic, ang dami ng social media, so lahat na crisp and short. So that's the intention, one of the intentions. We want the vision should be owned by students. And I guess one way of doing that would be for them to memorize it and I guess remember.
And like what the Vice Chancellor said, I feel like that there is a lot of history with the LaSalle University Task Force. And I do have a share of that because most of my family members are all alumni of this school. So they told me the history, the stories of the changes in the school. But of course throughout that whole,
Sige nga, kainan, and joke.
yeah, so throughout that whole time period, definitely one thing that hasn't changed is that the university is still very religion focused. So, as a Catholic institution, I really believe that the personal relationship we have with God is very important. And with that, I'd like to ask, as a leading Catholic university, what role does our Catholic faith play in the pursuit of academic excellence and innovation?
It regulates our needs in the pursuit of excellence. I mean, you can actually achieve excellence in so many ways, but I guess as a Catholic institution, you should always be guided by certain values that would, in a way, help you achieve that kind of excellence that you, I guess, envision to achieve. So ganun. We cannot just have excellence for excellence sake. It cannot be gained through, I guess, stepping on someone else's siguro reputation. It must be attained always in a manner full of integrity and honesty. And I guess that's where the Catholic faith comes in.
Yes, I think if we just look at our founder, St. John Baptist de La Salle, he experienced a lot of challenges just to come up with excellence in education during that time. And he became successful because he really anchored through his faith. So given the premise, through time, the DLSU LaSalle in particular had changed, but I guess that faith becomes our foundation, and we anchor to that.
So can you try to share some specific examples of how the school aims to inspire excellence and drive innovation within its academic, research, and community initiatives?
So we were talking about excellence in education, research, and community involvement or extension of the community. As far as academics and research is concerned, we are talking about the role of the faculty members into excellence in education. They are our forefront. So I know you have everything to say about your teachers, but the school would like to see to it that our faculty members will always be enthusiastic in teaching and to inspire them. One of the benefits of our faculty is that they are given scholarship for their So the school actually provides that for them to continue with their studies. As I have mentioned earlier, I said more learning means more teaching. So that's one. We have established our own research office, and we have established our own community development office or center. And these offices see to it that we are not only coming up with a research for research sake, but we see to it that the outcomes of these researches are of use to the community. So we also see to it that our community involvement or extension works are worthy and sustainable. By the way, if you are not, maybe some of you are not aware, we have our night college, and this night college is for free. So we have our faculty members who serve in the night college, and that is for volunteer work. We also have our balikara, and these are also for those who are enrolled here. They will also pay. That's free. So all of these are actually an inspiration. Okay, nobody will be involved in this type of work there that inspired what we are doing.
Thinking about your question, kasi tries to first ask us what do we mean by extradition. And I guess that the addition should be context. And I always say this in orientations for first year students. In the DLE should be context. When you talk about excellence, you just don't talk about being number one in your field, but you actually use this being number one to actually help others. So with the question of how you inspire this in academics, research, and community service, if you will notice in your classes, we try to, when Paulina can actually correct me, we try to inject as much service learning component as possible. When we talk about service learning component, it means that somewhere in your syllabus, somewhere in your learning plan, you would be finding yourselves using what you have learned to benefit or to come up with a project to benefit others, either to conduct community service, or I guess come up with a project to help a certain group of people. So that's one way of not just inspiring excellence, but actually imprinting this in their hearts and minds. As far as research is concerned, just to add to what Ma'am Tina said, did you know that just 2 years ago, Ma'am Tina was part of that. We conducted a research for Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. It's called the Integrated Community Development Project or Program, in which close to 50 of our faculty went to these different areas, studied their situations, and tried to recommend certain courses of action to make their conditions better. So as far as research is concerned, we're not just conducting research to be, I guess, cited or international journal and all those things, but we have this genes in our research in which we use it to benefit the community. Another example is, I think just recently, we also conducted research to study the Manila Bay waters. So to improve also the quality of water. So that's inspiring excellence in the context of the issue. Not just being number one or being an expert in your field, but using this expertise to practice.
And yeah, speaking of initiatives, I think it's very obvious that in this week, the students week, now all of the students are very actively participating in events and just encouraging others to join their colleges, like special like events and programs like that. So I think it's such a good example of like the Masaling goals and mission values. Right?
I think it's very important that component of service should not always be left out in any activity. Because, I guess if you come to think of it, wala namang simple yung galing mo kung kayo na mag-enjoy. I think other people should get a chance to enjoy the expertise here.